mutya bannange benyegache Prius yiya mu maaso girabye bagita Prius kati yarekeringa 2013 2014 yawo that's the new one model kakati ngebe bikyalya waliwo emmotoka esanyuma mateekako obusitiika ateeka kapande ka sitiika ka Victorious ku ndabirwamu y'emabega emmotoka Prius y'amaanyi emmotoka eri mu miliyoni nga 5 eyo gy'olaba 5 6 eyo Prius gy'olaba. The only trouble is that the hybrid system might actually turn out to be very expensive. Kyekyo kanze kyendaba ekigirimu ekibi naye nga mwasuze mutya. How did you sleep? How are you doing this morning? How is your health? Are you smiling? You better smile today. Now smile for no reason. You better smile. You know how you be there and you have and you have faith that things will do well, things will go well. That's the reason to smile. Smile while smile knowing that things will go well eventually, even when they are not going very well now. Smile knowing that things will eventually turn out well. But how are you? Today is a Wednesday, and today is the day we do family talk. What is family, guys? I want to hear from you. What do you guys think is family? Maybe I've had the wrong definition of what family is for a very long time, and I want to learn. There are people that have big families. You come from extended families, and people that come from extended families that have lived together probably in the same house, like Antonio. Antonio, you seem to be a person that comes from a family that has lived together for a very long time. So what is family, guys? And that's what our discussion today is. Njagala nnyo okuyiga what you think family is, because the last time we talked about the concept of family, Seth defined family and then beat it down immediately. So I want to learn ubanze manyi the wrong definition of what family is. Prius ogiraba bwenyirira. When you kiss me, when you touch me. Good morning, Muyombia Mark, to see me, Eddie Mugalasi, Joshua Mix from Master Academy, Namamu Kono, Travel Life Vlog, Hashim, Ntale Samuel, Muyombia Mark, Mutumba Pade, Antonio Random Things, Edrin Mugiwa, Semata Abdu, Chigozi Stanley, Wabuye Nelson, yes, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Kanoka Prius ateka mlembo kusinga Prius jemba dendo oza no kugura. Eyo Prius etuli maso, kwagaza okugura Prius. And we are team hybrid boss. The guy must be enjoying life now in that Prius. Yo moroka ya mulembe ebera upgrade nyonyo era atha nemfuna Prius. Ebera upgrade ya manyi nyonyo lwakubancha ine bijintisa. Paka nga mazofuna wenji pangisa nenjivuga mu nnaku zange nga 3. Nenji pangisa mu nnaku 3 nenda babwekola how it functions. Then nenga awemala okulaba how it functions, then I can do the math nenga tagata nemanya nti the hybrid system bwefa nchikola ntya. Thank you for telling them, Nelson. Like and share. Muri 12 like. Let's have 12 likes. What is family? Oringe Juba, Orimusai, baby. You speak with a voice, it's in high definition. Take a picture of you, 3 big glasses, make you one invention. Baby girl, you will rock with me. Girl, it's what I feel inside. Yes, Edrin. Yeah, the Japanese actually keep the, but what will spoil the cars? The roads are nice, the environment is nice. Which I've been to European countries, for example, where a guy doesn't have to wash his car for a month. and even after a month yasalawo katika njozi, because their environment is clean, they have clean roads, there is no dust, no potholes, no mud. Okitegeera, actually for us we are driving off-road nga Jeke bwe yagamba, because Jeke wawe Denmark ajali, for him to get a road that looks like Kampala road aba ayingidde ekyalo. Okitegeera, to get the potholes, kind of potholes we get in Kololo oba ovugenze off-road. So kati emmotoka nga lwaki tebeera nnungi paka ne wano Uganda wano bw'osanga omuntu avuga emmotoka and they live like in places like Kololo, Muyenga, okujjako nga atomedde, bw'aba tatomedde their car can look new for a very long time, because you can drive in Kampala ne border nezita kulubula emmotoka endala nezita kulubula nezita kona for a very long time if you're very careful. Kati nganze, it's been a long time since a border guy scratched my car, very long time. It's also been a long time since I was in a crash with another car. So yes, you can drive your car even in Kampala and keep it clean, but of course the other guys, even their environment makes keeping a car new even easier, because their environment is something else. Tebayina nfuufu. Ekintu ekyasinza okwonona langi y'emmotoka wano e Kampala is the debris that come with the dust, because if the dust was soft it would be something else, but we don't just get dust, we get even debris. Kati ate most of us don't wash our cars the right way, n'olupiira okujja sooka okubako ettaka. You wash by taking your car to a washing bay, or you guys take your cars to a washing bay where they get water from omwala baguyita batya mu luzungu, omwala baguyita batya mu luzungu, where they get water from omwala. Ate n'ogwo omwala amazzi gennyini nago gajja n'ettaka. So which is why you need to be very careful where you wash your car from. Okitegeera, kati awo mwala tebeera weero ssebo, weero a well has clean water, but omwala has dirty water, and most of the washing bays that are at kumyala, their water is actually dirty, and that's where that car toyinza gisanga bajoleza kumwala, that car obviously, because that car has been on the road for like about 5 to 6 months, that one, the Prius. But it depends where you wash your car from. Now that person might be living in an apartment block where they wash their scary washes with water from national water, which tegeera omwala is a channel. Ne channel omwala can be a channel. Omwala can be a channel actually, because the channel can actually have dirty water, the water that comes from sewage pipes. You get omwala. Yes, omwala might actually be a drainage. Emmanuel, thank you. Stream, creek, mwe bantu mmwe nga mumanyi oluzungu. Antonio yavuddemu ekigambo creek. Antonio, erinnya lya Antonio wadde lya luzungu liringa eryaba Mexico, tebamanya nnyo luzungu. Naye se wevudde egambo creek, bantu mmwe nga mumanyi oluzungu. You guys keep surprising me every day. Creek, stream kalekaleko, naye ekigambo creek olabika olaba nnyo horror. Waliwo eyo horror eriko ekigambo creek ey'okutta abantu. Yeah, I don't watch horrors because I dream. The thing with horrors, me, if I watch a horror at 9 p.m, I wake up at 2 a.m. ngambirota. And by the way, guys, I had a very funny dreams. For the guys that watched Blacklist, I dreamt I was the one who was going to save Reddington. So in my dream, remember the last time you were doing a broadcast on your way to work and a border guy hit your car at some roundabout in the presence of some traffic officer and he almost threw bros. Namukuba, I did not almost. I gave him maokota, seriously, but he did not actually scratch. Yes, he fell on my car, but he did not actually scratch it. So there is no scratch. The guy is on battery, even though you guys spend an hour in jam. Yeah, but if the battery like runs low, then the engine will kick in. Which tegeera. Antonio, yes for dropout. Ngo luzungu omanyi lwa degree. Obeyo yes for dropout ngo omanyi ekigambo creek. Like the other movie was called Dawson Creek. Sicho? The one I can't watch. Me, I don't watch horrors. I think the last horror I watched was Jumanji. I was in P4. We said we used to watch movies on VHS cassettes, and they brought Jumanji. I could not sleep. I saw fire everywhere. Everywhere I was falling in ditches at night when I was sleeping. And those days I would have very funny dreams. I'd wake up at night, and I used to have very funny dreams when I was young. I don't know why. I'd wake up and I don't fit anywhere. There's fire everywhere. I don't know if anyone had such. For like a year, I used to have those funny dreams. And I don't watch horrors up to today because I'm scared I would be dreaming those things. So me, I watch comedies. I don't even watch love stories. Love stories also have things that they make you feel. So I don't also watch love stories. I only watch comedies. But even when a comedy is inclining to love story, I don't watch it. There is another Prius, that's another Prius. But people are buying Priuses. That car brown one is also a Prius. So that's a different model from the one we saw a while back. Seba Walota, you are directing the next episode of Blacklist. No, you know, in the I dreamt we were with the Reddington. My Reddington was acting reckless in my dream. Reddington, I think he wanted to be caught. Or he was retiring. So I dream Reddington kills one of his enemies, those guys that are criminals. So he kills the guy, and he burns the body, and then it's ashes. So after he burns the body, he puts the body in the boot, and then he comes with pictures of the guy he has killed, with the name written on. And then he doesn't even bother to wipe the fingerprints off the pictures. He throws them in the seat. And I'm there and I'm watching. And I say, man, Reddington, so I get the pictures and I start moving around with them. I don't know why I was even moving around with them. Because then, towards the end of the dream, I realized it was me who was going to be arrested, that I killed the man. So I come back and people start seeing me. The car is still there. Nobody has touched it. The dead body is still in there. Ash. So I come and now I want to throw the pictures in the car, but then I realized that my fingerprints are also on the pictures. You guys, I struggled in the dream. I struggled. Now I try to rub off the fingerprints, but then I cannot still put the pictures because I don't know. Now because the dead body was burnt to ashes. Now I'm asking myself, how are they going to identify the person who is dead in the car? That's how I woke up. So Reddington, I think and you know Reddington wasn't putting on his suit in my dream. He was putting on t-shirts. He was really reckless in the dream. So I think I was the one who's going to save Reddington. And I've not watched the last season, which is season 10, I think, of the Blacklist. So someone says that Reddington died. He was knocked down by a bull. Funny way of going out. The person that Reddington is. Omwara, the name depends where you find it and size. Stream, channel, trench, creek, drainage. Now most people, your cars are washed at trenches. Some of you guys, you take your cars to be washed at trenches, not even at creeks. A creek can actually, because creeks are normally located in in forests. You get so the water is kind of clean because it's filtered. But even the water in creeks also has particles of like debris and all that. But trenches, some of you wash your cars at trenches. Ere moroke yose kwa ku trench table. Table ogendo girabye bako obusaze amayinja ago gakulubula emmotoka. Okitegeera. And ate moroka gye boleza ne wantu watali lupira table. Guys, what is family? Give you bichali yao, because that's our topic today. It's interesting to see what people define as family. Of course, now when we were in primary, they used to define for us a nuclear family, an extended family. That's the two basic units, the two basic types of family. A nuclear family has mother, father, and children, and maid these days. Those days, the maids were not really a popular thing, but right now, a maid is part of your family, although you pay them. You need to pay them minimum wage, but you also need to also treat them like their family. Pay them a professional fee, but also treat them like their family. You get so, and then the extended family, you are in the same house, But then there is grandmother, there is uncle. Any family that has more than father, mother, and children, then that starts being an extended family, where you have your grandmother, where you have an uncle. Then that starts being an extended family. And some of us grew up in extended families. Of course, they are not really extended, because like me, where I grew up, so it's extended but not really extended. It's unfortunately extended, because there are those families that are unfortunately extended. Nga temwasalawo kubeera mutyo, but because katinganze, because your parents died, your grandmother had to take on responsibility, and then it become extended like that. And then some people, they die, their parents die, and aunt takes you on. And I think the one thing that I think I'm happy with is that I never got to suffer the way people suffer when their parents die. Me, I do not suffer. I think if I suffered at any one moment, it was psychological things, like someone telling you to see one way, which take it, right? But at that time, I didn't even know. It's just that right now, social media is making everything that made us Ugandans seem like it was abuse. But even then, at that time, of course, there are like statements that people make that can make you feel bad. But I don't think I suffered. I saw people that had their parents suffer even more than me. So I don't think I qualify to even say that there was a time in my life when there was suffering. Of course, yes, those things that right now I would not want my kids to go through, like going to school without sugar, not like which is true to our time. But jeke bebayambalanga empale empanvu, ze nayambala ekino paka senior 1, ate mu senior 1 nga nyina empale emu empanvu ya uniform. Okitegeera kabla okuteeka yene simu yagala kubuguma kamalo gizizika njimala akajanja. So what is family, guys? What is family? Thank you, Heath Moses. Guys, you guys like the broadcast. Ani ono gwe baholdinze for review tulabe. Antonio agamba, okay, Antonio message yabadde bagikutte. I wonder why this broadcast has low people over the word family, anti-people, diaspora, family zabanyiza. The most scary thing I've ever seen in 2005 when Saddam Hussein was killed. Yali Idi, I was 5 years, mutabuliki, tujja ku muzikiti naye gwe Matembe erinnya lyo gasiba ali aba generation Z, generation Z. Matembe Abdul Nassar, you are a Gen Z bulijjo. Erinnya Matembe Abdul Nassar bwoliwulira bwotyo owulira omusajja omukulu. Kati Matembe, why are you so heartbroken at such a young age? Why are you so heartbroken at such a young age? Nassar bwakunyumiza abakyala we bamuyisiza obubi. Oba anyway, you are a Muslim, abasajja abasiramu batera okwagala okuwasa. But Nassar bwonyumya abakyala nga we bakuyisiza obubi, omuntu ayinza okulooza oli myaka ngaana. Antonio oli mutuufu. Good morning, Hajara. Edwin Mugerwaga, but if you know cassettes, you are a man of all seasons in Charles. Some of it wabanga bazitanga batya? Nga DVD tezinnajja balinga babiyita batya ebyo bintu mwagenda nga VHS. I wonder why this broadcast has low people. Akagambo family, abantu amu family tebagikiriza namu, by the way. Did you hear? Have to say that really. Good morning, King Daniels. Just an observation. Yes, Ntongo Helen, good morning. I think family is a group of people related by birth, blood, or adoption. Okay, the moment you're related, you qualify to be family. Ate this thing that I hear most of the time, abasajja obasanga ne bagamba this man is like family to me. What do you mean when you say this man is like family to me? Nze simanyi bantu bavuga bati emmotoka eri wakalu oyagala n'okuyimira ng'ekitalo kira kigenda kukwata naye ng'ate olaba banno bo bagenda noga kakati why am I being out of the ordinary? Let me be normal. Kati olaba eno emmoroka etuli mu maaso, emmoroka etuli mu maaso tebagyoleza ku mwala, naye probox eri bagyoleza ku mwala. Ogiraba probox eyo enamba yemu ne Prius eri gye twalabye, naye probox eriko emisaze egy'amayinja agajjira mu kusena amazzi mu mwala, era kyovula batenyirira na bulungi probox eyo. Okitegeera bagyoleza ku mwala, emmoroka egyebooleza ku mwala tebula. But of course byonna byansi byakufa byakuleka. You remember Baby Cool song? Byansi byakufa byakuleka, aha tuyitamu buyisi. Maybe that could be bitya, but I used to love that song. Bana yabasajja wayimanga music. What is family, guys? Anthony Agambe, anybody that is related by blood, adoption, or what? That's family. Family, these are people you share your happiness and problems with. Okay? Yes, by the way. Family are people you share your happiness and problems with. It means it doesn't have to be that they don't have to be related to you, but as long as they are there for you, you are there for them. Ngembera je muyita mujiyitamu mwenna. When you're happy together. When you're not happy, you're not unogali ko mutwe mulabye ku border mutwe gulingo katungu ate yagenze nasala akaviri kagundi kaba football player gonge yadala okufaananya omutwe nga akatungu mumanyi buno obutungulu obunene bwayita globe. So what is family, guys? To me, I think family remains family. There is nothing you can take away from it, regardless. They want to be fake. The moment you start saying that, you're calling me Antonio. Kati ababa bavudde mu kubeera family. Baba totandikanga koli omuntu kasotu kamu ogawa ate tunabakolera ki? Be bantu baffe kati baba kukaseeko. Okitegeera. And I think where the world is going, tugenda tuuka katola bati tugenda tuuka Gen Z bantu bate si bantu balungi n'akatono banasa si bantu balungi lwa nsonga. Nasa bakusaka siiso abeerawo n'akulaba wafunira akakiso kwesonyiwa toddamu namulaba. Be banasa Gen Zs. Kati ate generation eyo yeddako simanyi kubereka generation yaba urban oba 1996 to 2000 kati waliwo 2000 okudde eno waggulu eyo generation X si X bagiyita bate generation eddako ng'ovudde ku bannasa. What is family, guys? That's our discussion. It's important probably for us to remind ourselves what family is so that we are good family as well, because it's one thing you expecting other people to be good to you as family naye nga ate gwe you're not good to them. Okitegeera. So what is family? Moroka hiyo kigati ayas kati yeri comfortable bulungi nnyo ero giraba n'engeri gyegwa mu bunnya. That's a very comfortable ride. N'emito gyayo gyagiramu emabega etuuza abantu banaba etuuza kukyala abantu banabana omutto gwayo otunula muno mu ndabirwamu giraba etuuza abantu banabana ku buli mutto. It's huge. We did a project with Total and try tukola nga ne centenary gyeri abasenari batambuliranga mu karavani ebyo. Kati fe abaali with the Total team nga tutambulira mu drone za bulijjo, but of course I had teams in different districts. Naye nga buli team y'abantu bana naye nga era batambulira mu kidrone kiramba abantu bana nga buli team ina driver waayo abaana bange beeyagala. Katonda yatwadde ebiproject ebirala nabwe bityo. So what is family, guys? To me, I think, okay, Anthony Agambe, when you grow up, family is both parents, husband and kids. The rest are relatives. The rest are relatives. But family is family. Never relative band, but the family. Bobo government are people you're related to by blood. Then any person that has blood is family. Any person What is family, guys? I have my definition of family, but njagala kulaba mumulowooza ki. Football tribe, good morning. Sekitoleko Norman, other than family, I have a different question. Are MG's type of cars, but again I can see Benz marked MG. Trims guy. Njukira akagambo trim. Go bulwola be moroka ne confusing. Jukira ekigambo trim. The name Matembe seems like a very mature person. Someone above 50s. Mumulabye bulijja atubuzabuza wana tulaganga bwali heartbroken atenga mwana muto nenga bakumenya mangu omutima Matembe. Matembe jenzi naye mama ateka to odire linya Matembe noligattako Abdul Nasa olabira ddala Maseka bano bamaseka abakulira emizikiti ng'alina abaana nga 9 era nze bulijjo nasaba ogamba mbuno simanya biki nga ngamba bambi musajja wattu nga nze muli kubamu akafaananyi Nasa ng'alina abaana nga 8 buli mwana ne maama we nga bazze bamumenya amenya omutima okitegeera nze bulijjo naye kati nga bulijjo oli mwana muto bw'oti STS Sounds, good morning. Mugizi Dawood, good morning. JFK Arts, good morning. Abantu abavuga primo simanyi oba bayigira bwe motoka. Kati emotoka eyo primo mugiraba nayo bajoleza mwala pure. Nenze yo primo tekyankolera kati tunavuga primo ziri 28 empya. Ate endi mabega mbadde njagala njibalage primo gye mulina okugula kati ezo muzireke ye tuli maaso ezo tezikyali mu motoka kati kale nazo mu motoka ku muntu atalina bulungi sente, but I wouldn't buy that car at 20 million if I can add 7 million and buy the other one. The other one is much more, gives you a picture of the markets in the primo. JFK Arts, good morning. VCD VCD mpya VCD yajja after kiri bali bakiyita bacha balina bali bakiyita deck banange Andrew nga nawe yo old bakiyitanga deck banange kati bannase ebya deck tebabimanyi naso wese okutugamba emyaka gye mituufu muto wange Nasa 2000 nali mu P4 2000 kandabe P4 P5 nali mu P5 in 2000. Are you sure? Nali mu P5 guys, what is family to you, and what kati tuve ku definition entuufu ya family gye batugamba mu bitabo. You, what do you define as family? What qualifies someone to be your family? Because that's very important. What qualifies someone to be family? Because in Dabanya abantu, like there are interviews where people have been helped. Umuntu ajja n'agamba nyina abenganda zange but tebasobola kunyamba bichi okitegeera omuntu stranger ajja n'akuyamba. When someone is there for you, omuntu ajja n'akubeererawo for a very long time n'abeera naawe, because with your wife bw'owasa omukazi oba bw'ofumbirwa omusajja, you're not related by blood. How come they become family? And they become even closer to you than your own mother. Now there are people that are going to say, my wife can never be closer than my mother. Once you start living with someone more than 1 year, as an adult, you right now you know everything you're talking about, you know everything you're doing, you understand better. So this person definitely qualifies to be more family than your mother, because your mother was family when you didn't understand anything. There are chances are very high that if you were an adult the way you were, you could not stand your mother. We say right now, some of you, the reason you stand your mothers is because she's your mother. If you don't understand her, who will understand her? You get it? But you stand your woman, or you stand your man properly, even with all their flaws. You stand them, and you don't even want anyone to talk about them. So your wife or your husband qualifies to be more family than your mother. Of course, some people you never learn them. Paka ngogudde mbizibu kati abasajja kwavuwala kulwala. That's when you know who your wife is. N'abakazi of course bw'oba tonnalwala tomanya bbaawo yaani, naye kati abasajja batera nnyo okulaba bakazi baabwe abatuufu ng'ayavuwadde okitegeera. So if you're dating, that's why nze nsaasira nnyo abavubuka abata nga ofunye mu tusente nga tolina mukazi, nti kijja kuba kizibu nnyo okumanya omukazi oba akwagala oba ayagala by'olina okitegeera. So what is family? What is true family to you? Because we could say the true definition of family is anyone you're related to, but there are times family becomes people you're not. I remember an uncle of mine died, and when he died, his brothers were not as close to him as one of his friends, the friend that took him to hospital. You get it? He kind of got a heart attack. Of course, when on his deathbed he was in the hospital, his heart just burst. Of course, that's what they told us, because they said blood kept coming from all the parts of all pores of his body. And but what happened was that my uncle, his friend, because they used to live, guys, the place called Chiyindi and Nakurabi, they used to rent there. And now this uncle is not really uncle, he was a husband to one of my aunties. But when he died, I realized that you can have blood family. Random stop. So I realized that time his brothers were nowhere to be seen. Of course, we saw some brothers that were in their 20s, my age at that time. I was 20. I was actually in the campus. That's 2010, and I saw that his family was actually far away from the burial ground than his friend. His brothers were a distance. Even his father was a little bit distant. Of course, there is no way that a father can really be close at that time. I've seen most burials that I've gone to. A father is normally far away. I think it has to do with the fact that as we grow up, so that is okay. But his brothers, his sisters were distant. As a matter of fact, Okumanyanga, his brothers and sisters were distant. I learned recently that after the burial, after the burial they have meetings. That after the burial, the man's family told their wives, because they never has banj, that they told the wives, bawa mwafude buli omubuli mbuzi ku nkondo yayi buli mwagende yefeeko. That's the statement that came from the man's family. They told the man's wives, your husband has died, you don't have anything here, go and take care of yourself. So is that family that gives up on your children because you have died? And of course the man's side is normally like that. That's why it's important that for men, abasajja bw'owasa omukazi, family y'omukazi togiyisa bubi, because bebatera okulabirira abaana bo. God forbid senga ofa senga oyangu okufa. And like I said, God forbid, but the fact is senga oyangu okufa ojja kwesanga family ya mukyala we yegenda okulabirira abaana bo. Family yo tejja kubaawo. And bamulekwa abali wano mukimanyi, most bamulekwaze, it's your mother's family has taken care of you. So what is family? Let me see. The way the Narcos emphasize familiar in the series of movies, over family is a chika. Now the way they kill for family. Nowadays, family is more than just blood. It goes to anyone akuberera wenyo. Because I understand that family and but be muntu akuberera wo. omuntu akubeerawo yandibadde abeera family. But in some families people only share the good times for fear mbu bajja bageya. Nze probox yange I will wash it with mineral water. Nanga Antonio. Nathan Matembe, sikulinaako buzibu wa Uganda, but I also thought oli musajja mukulu. Let me hope you're good. Munange nasa amanya gagabiri. Yeah, amanya gagabiri gafera n'okufera. Sobola okubeera ku simu n'ogamba omuntu nze Matembe Abdul Nasa. Eri erinnya ssebo likanga. Kambuuze kiva ku ky'omuntu okuba nga teweesiga bakazi. Baba bakuyisizza mu bingi. Generation ya smartphone ba iPhone, generation Naruto. Wait. Lwolese omulamu gw'amagezi lwenzijja leeti. Twakatandika Valerian. Twakatandika wadde ndi leeti ku mulimu naye twakatandika nkyalina eddakiika zange nga ziizo. Me, I totally understand family because people will call family when they ask you money or help or any help and they receive it from you, they ghost you. Okay, the first definition is when you are still young, and the second definition is when you grow up. For the people who are under responsibility, yebera family yo under your responsibility. Good morning Balvids. Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm. Gwe Mugalasi gundi Abdul Nasa bamuzaala 12. Kitegeeza twogerera wano ayina emyaka 2010 2020 ayina emyaka 24. Erinnya Matembe Abdul Nasa ne 24 years waliwo ekitagatta. One of them erinnya Matembe Abdul Nasa bateekwa okuba bakuwalya jjajjaawo. John Katieno family are these people. It doesn't matter where they are away from you, but as long as what hurts them hurts you. Exactly, that's family. Omega Moses, good morning. AMG is a Mercedes-Benz spec. Ngabo whatever M Sport in BMW, GTI in Volkswagen. Hey. Amina Chan Emmanuel, VCD video cassette player. Hey, na ife twajitanga deck. Even friends become family. So the people that are there for you through thick and thin without judgment, even when the rest of the world is judging you, that qualifies for family. True. A family is a composition of individuals who are related to you by marriage, blood, and benefits in form of support and here and there. Your mother has to love you simply because she's your mother, while your wife chooses to stay and be with you every day. Thus, she's your family. Other factors constant. Joseph Valley Kudem, anyone can be family as long as you share happiness and insecurities with. To me, I think my wife and kids are my family. My mom, dad, bros, sisters were my family before when I was young. Abasigadde babeera relatives, abalala friends. Mr. Matemeze, ndi wa the best decade, 86, 96. Awe walira ifutusinga n'okutegeera. I think that our culture in Uganda here was a little mean when they defined family as those people we are related to. I think also those British are mean in the way of defining family. In real sense, family refers to the bloodline. The other alternatives come due to family loopholes where friends are referred to as family. Kuba, weba mubuuza, do you have a family? Obwongo budduka ku my wife and kids. The statement will never get out of my head. When my dad died in 1996, two of my siblings bakozesa statement eyo batutukuze bagitujjukiza but easy mbuli mbuzi ku nkondo yayo inze waliwo eyakikozesa wano recently. Mr. Batembe oyina kyotugamba nga baki okutikka erinnya ery'obuvunaanyizibwa. Matembe Abdul Nasa bateekwa okuba erinnya lya mukulu wa kika. Erinnya lya Nasa liteekwa okuba lya mukulu wa kika. Kati bwe bamuzaala bati ndowooza yatunuza buvunaanyizibwa nga baby ne bali mukubako gwe Matembe Abdul Nasa kuba sebeeri erinnya. But anyway guys, what is family? I think family yandibadde the group of people that with whom you share bad and good times, not and they should not be sharing bad times because but you kuswara ati batanda beyo okitegeera because I've realized nze kyendabye kyengezzaako okulaba. I've seen people that go to people's functions ngaga bananda babatyanga siriyo okitegeera nga tagendayo because ayagala ng'agenda because bananda babatya. Nze sikola bintu bya bananda babatya. As a matter of fact abantu bampita ku mikolo gyabwe kwanjula mbaga. As long as you're not really close to me, I don't come. Because going to people's functions is actually a sacrifice. Kubudde naddala nze kati naku zino nebakasawa mukaga because in assignments zenyi nokukola next week ntandika quarter line. I'm doing Richard III for the guys that read Shakespeare. I'm doing Richard III and I'm playing the main character, and then I'm doing Country Wife. I'm playing Pinchwell for the guys that read some literature books. So I have a lot of things on my plate. So kati bwompita ku mukolo gw'embaga nenzijja oba really close to me, really close to me. I think nakomo genda ku mikolo ejo eja batuyise ku mikolo gendayo banalaba bate ebyo nakomo okubikola because I really understand that you can go to someone's function and they don't even remember you were there. Mujjukira okwanjula kwe nagendako ne sirya na mmere navuga mafuta n'engende Masaka ne tuyita mu jamu omuyitirivu nnyo nga omanyi wa Masaka Road. Actually jamu yali mungi nnyo to the extent that twavuga ne tudda jamu yali mungi e Busega ne tuyita ku express ne tugenda tuvidako ekajjansi ne tuyita eyo mu bikubo ne tugwa ensangi tusobole okugenda ku mukolo gw'ono omwami. Tumala ova ku mukolo ate I knew that maybe there are chances that tajja kutegeera ne neekubya ekifaananyi ne chairman w'omukolo gwe ku mukolo gwennyini okitegeera because the function was really busy. Fenna tetugenda genda wa mugole tufuba okulaba nga atulaba. So there are chances that someone doesn't even care if you come or not. Akwawi invitation nti awai atitagamba tsamuyita okitegeera. So I stopped going to functions just. I really have to make impact for me. It really has to make impact for me to be at your function. If it doesn't make impact, ogwo mukolo gwe Masaka gwe Salia na Mary, Salia Matoke. Tutuuka wano mukote gwali gwalwa mukaga lwali lwa Sunday. Tutuuka wano omugole akomyewo lwali lwakubi naganga saakulabye. Then I remembered all the jam I endured. Nenzijukira ntwagenda ku mukolo ntutabako kye tulyayo ne tugula enkoko nga twagula enkoko nga tugenda because yatwagigula nga tuyizo tukeyo ne tutalya. Era ne tutalya ntukomawo ne tugula ebyokulya mu kkubo. N'otuuka wano omugole n'agamba nga saakulabye eyo. You get it? So it really has to make impact for me to come to your function. Chitya nti nze okujja ku mukolo gwo kyandibadde nti bw'oba tonnanda bako toteriira obuuza bannange athaliwa nze kwe kujja ku mukolo gwo. As a matter of fact n'emikolo ejange I only invite people that will make impact. That's why sibasaba sente muntu yenna. I want to have money for my function bwekuba kwanjula ngenda bane sente za so that tojja gamba ngate wampita bwemba saakuyita you did not make impact in my life. Okitegeera okwanjula kwe Masaka siyinza kwerabira tetwalya mmere muntu kyagenda kwanjula n'atalya mmere okitegeera. Nasa ekyemmere kyandibaddeawo senga omukolo gwali wano Kampala nzija n'envaawo namangu naye omukolo gwe Masaka gwovugira amafuta okitegeera ettooke ly'e Masaka. Abdul Nasaga, seriously, people don't joke with the word family. Most of us feel comfortable with strangers. Like, seriously, look at how we jazz here. That's family. Arthur talks about the wedding food. Most times, friends be there for us more than family. Ata baida wa mafuta we bisere bigali ga bay aga mafuta genda vugo gende Masaka gali ga bay. But anyway, regardless eyo nagenda yo I think that's the last function I went to. Ngangamba omuntu ono yampa kadi. I contributed money, but I will tell you what, let me tell you ono muntu mwiza ye mutegera. So let me give you an example. Omuntu ono bwe yaleta budget kakuvire mukama wange omuntu omuntu oyo yampa budget bwe yampa budget ningamba omuntu ono normally when if I contribute money to your function nga sali contributing, the first question I ask myself is omuntu oyo yalimpadde sente mmekanzi. Because normally when someone gives you a budget, they want money. They are not giving you a budget in Burabako. So when someone sends you a budget, they want money. If you say they use a trick, akwa budget na akwa ne card. So akwa card okula ganti kumukora akwise na akwa budget okula ganti ojja kubwerere. Normally when you give me a budget, I ask myself, if I'd given you a budget, how much would you have given me? Ono mwami nze mumanyi. So I gave him 50,000. And 50,000 is not a lot of money for a function. But I thought to myself, I even talked to one of my colleagues. In a colleague wangu twagenda naye ku mukolo. So I asked him, mwami ono yali mpadde sente mmeka n'agamba yali kuwadde etaano. Ninkwata emitwalo etaano enjiwereza ku simu ye. There and then. And by the way, it came later on, waliwo omu ku bantu abakola naye ku mukolo yamuwa emitwalo oba abiri. Yamuwa emitwalo abiri nga bw'omanyi wono wanga Arthur bw'anajja n'agamba omanyi Antonio nyina omukolo n'okwata emitwalo abiri n'ogawa Arthur. Nga naawe okimanyi nti Arthur ajja kuwa emitwalo abiri bw'onooba oyina omukolo. Naye omuntu ono yawaayo emitwalo abiri ku mukolo gwe teyafuna yadde ekikumi. Teyafuna na presence. Let me just park again. Bantu bwe muliyiga emmoroka nganze mujja kuba muyize. Ate kati reverse camera zituyambako. So ekyemikolo ndozo kitegedde. Ekyemikolo kyekyo. So but overall I find that the people that would go to their functions happily and gladly, they are people whose functions have gone to. Ngandi musanyufu nengenda nzengenze yobugenzi ngenda yo webwala bwala tuyagala akulabe nakulaba anti wazze obate wanyumye and stuff like that. There are people whose functions have gone to gladly, and there are people whose functions are gladly to go to ngabangamba Arthur nyino mukono ngamba nyino kuwa speech. Those are the people that you would actually say that's family. Ochite nyino kujampe speech. Ochitegeera. But then there are people that you go aye tukole tutya nga kati nga mukama bwana akuyita ku mukulu ngo otya wala kisigenda okitegeera. Let me go back. I think we should not mix Sali na Kajubi pade Sali na Kajubi oli muntu mulala nnyo. I think we should not mix family, friends and relatives because they are different things. Remember, your family can be friends, but friends can't be even relatives. Like I told you, family breakdown is a problem. Yeah, I find that right now, ani Seithi yali agamba nti abazungu tebakyalina family. But I find that in Africa, we have an illusion of family. Tugenda netulowooza nti we still have family, but we actually, most families are broken. Most families, abantu abakyalina what you would call a close family. Be bantu abaina mama waabwe taata waabwe nga bakyaliwo abakyabakwatiridde. But some of those families, mami bwafa oba daddy bwafa nga kisasika, ababadde bajja ku Christmas awamu nga tebajja, abadde bakola ki nga tebajja. Like me, I've had this fear for a very long time nti jajja waffe yatugatta, nti senga Katonda atukola obubi jajja waffe n'avaawo family awo tuba tuddamu kukola kikuba yatugatta yatutwala ewuwe ne tubeera kaawo ate ng'olwedde kyatandika dda. Nze nabagambye banzaalukukako nyina anti wange yanzaalukuka yagamba Arthur gwakulira abaana abe naye nga abaana bonna banyiivu tayagala boogereko nti banyiivu. That's what I find with most families. Family is only held together by the people that are being oppressed keeping quiet. So a family literally has an oppressor and it has people that are being oppressed. And families are held together by virtue of the people that are being oppressed keeping quiet. Majority of the time it's that the people that are oppressing normally baba ina kusenta okusinga kubalala. Kati olwokuba bali abana babeetaaga, they need their money, so they have to tolerate the oppression. And that's what keeps families together. The moment the oppressed decide to talk out, to speak out, but yeah, because they have the means, they will gladly say, nzengenze. And then normally that brings about division until the person that has the means goes with a group of people, and then these people that have decided, you know what, we're not going to be oppressed anymore, they also keep on one side. I've seen it in so many families until I remember we used to have wajajja wange. There used to be a lady yali akola mu State House bali bamuyita Tekera. Yafa some years ago. Tekera yalina sente. She had money nga bajja kumukola jja n'entebe ye. You know those people that come with their chairs at family functions. Ngera bwabata natuko mukole bisere bisinga tegutandika singa tekera. Ngera when they have nyimbe family meetings yasinga okuwayo sente because she used to work in State House. Okitegeera. Era emikolo nga omukyalo yakyaliwo emikolo gyabanga gy'amaanyi because yaleetanga sente olumu nga bwajja kumukola jja n'ebintu bingi nnyo ebyokulya bibaawo, and bwe yavaawo family nebeera ddala nga emikolo bafiirwa n'omuntu. Like recently they lost someone and they had to bury that person at a place that wasn't really a burial ground because baabulwa transport atwala omulambo. Ekyo nakiyiga later on, nze nali manyi bamuziikaawo because kumataka, but baabulwa transport atwala omulambo gye balina okuguziika. Okitegeera. Naye ng'ate senga oli omukyala waali yali badde abawa ne ambulance yabwereere. So it used to be like that. And families right now are kept close until that person avaawo. Omuntu oyo alina sente bw'avaawo family ng'esasika. Okitegeera. Because ebiseera ebisinga aba yazaala abaana nga bo bamanyi tulinamu bali tebayinaamu, they are less of. Okitegeera. So I think I experienced that. Fe twabeera nga, you know, I used to see the kind of operation that I'm talking about. Zenga manyi omuntu asobola okuyisa mu ngeri n'otandika okulowooza oba nze gw'atayagala oba nze nnyina empisa embi. Okitegeera. And for some time I used to think that until one time ayina kye yakola omuntu, then it was coming back to me. Then I champisa bubi nnyo. Then I went to my grandmother ne muganda ekino ekintu nze nga sisobola kitolerating, this is too much. Then I realized ne jjajja wange baali bamuyisa batyo nga naye alina obulumi ku mutima. Then I realized other people nga nabo baliwe but you people, how do you tolerate these things for all these years? Okitegeera. Later on, after the meeting that we had mu banza alukukira, I realized that these people had tolerated this thing nga bagamba oyo muntu ajja kukyuka ne bw'onookola ki, omutima gwe bwe gutyo, empisa mbi bwe zityo, kati tayagala nimugambako, kati ffe twakimanyiira. So I realized that and they kept pretending, and for me I was like, you guys, you're going to continue being like this. Mujja tuuka mwewe n'obutwa. You guys have seen families. You remember aliwo nkuba kye yali wano recently ne bamuwa obutwa. And everyone was looking ani yamuwadde obutwa. Abantu babeera ku graduation ceremonies abaana baabwe, omwana ne bamuwa obutwa nga yakagraduating, and then everyone is asking themselves ani yawadde omwana obutwa. It's because of families that are that toxic, to the extent that buli muntu kati ojja kwesanga oyo omuntu anyigiriza family nawe bafuna ka chance aka revenging nga bamukola ekintu. So I was telling my family, you guys feel like this about someone, mwino obusungu ku mitima. Bakola statement which is I find that is very 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 powerful. Bakola statement egamba mukama ali musasula. Do you know what it means for someone to say all these things that they feel you have done wrong on them obayisiza bubi, then amala statement nga katumulekere mukama yali musasula? That's a very powerful statement. Nti senga abadde alina kyasobola okukola yali kikoze, but because talina kyasobola kukola kakulekere mukama, kitegeeza wafunira akakisa konna kukola ekibi ajja kikola. Me, I find that that's not family. Era when I had those statements, I told them, you know what guys, nze temuddamu kumpita mu pate zammwe paka nga mumaze okukola meeting, ebintu bino mubyogere, buli omu ye ajje ko ku mutima, ajje that thing ku mutima. Me, I thought that was a good thing, but and eventually this person calls me nemugamba nangamba na ye bichi nemuganda igwe ogamba mbo Arthur ayogera, but do you know what people feel about you? Nemugamba kyoba okola wali yise meeting and everyone ayogera ekiri ku mutima nawe baba ina bye bakuyisa mubiyogere, because that's what family is. Mukubagana ne muterera. For me, that's the definition of family. Nze nemikwano jange, as long as I'm still your friend, I will tell you what you're doing wrong to me. The moment I stop telling you, mbanku nabye, mbanku maze, okitegeera, I say, nze bato bange benkola nabo, nyina bato bange benkola nabo, and I tell them, Nina muto wange tuli ku floor ya esembayo waggulu. Muto wange yajjanga n'atula ku balcony n'awuuba n'ebigere. Balcony teriiko butayimbwa. So it's easy for him to fall back. And you imagine falling from the second floor down. Wansi tewali bisubi waliwo concrete. And I used to tell him, negwe, kitaawo naamugamba ki ng'ovudde waggulu eyo n'ogwa. And then I used to joke about it. Nembaga nange ono mvubuka atula waggulu eyo. Ne naavaayo n'agwa. Batandika okugamba musaddaase. Ate things happen in funny ways. Ayinza ovaayo n'agwa aba yakogwa n'enfuna project ya UN ng'erimu biliyoni nga 3. Kati omuntu amala okuvayo waggulu n'agwa n'ofuna project ya biliyoni 3 ne bagamba wamusaddaaka. Nga tewamusaddaaka bwali busiru bwe. So for some time I used to actually ne muvuma namu. And normally what I do is for me to avoid being misunderstood. Every time I'm having a meeting with someone that is close to me and I want to make sure that nothing is misunderstood, I call a third party to sit there. I normally call a third party so that I say everything because I master my words. In the scene, Jaja Wanganga sometime back, I think it was around 2010, my Jaja told me, Arthur towandikanga ekintu kyotasobola ku standing up by, toyogeranga ekintu that you cannot stand by. That's why I normally have a third party every time I have a meeting with someone that is close to me to make sure that in case I say something and you misunderstand me and in the future you say it a different way, I have someone else that was there to actually say, but Arthur said this, because I master everything I say. I don't go back on my word. Which so, but we were in this meeting and it got heated and blah, blah, blah. And then eventually I realized that all these people have this thing on their heart, but they were not willing to say. That's why in the meeting, nobody said. And then I said, but you, didn't you say this? You, didn't you say this? And they all said, yes, I said, but. And then I realized that, okay, now that's what family is. Family in for example, in Uganda especially, family is pretense. People pretend until they can actually cut you. Which together. They can pretend to be family with you when you're during happy times, Christmas periods, Easter, graduation parties. People will come, they laugh with you, but family. You've seen that on TV. Omuntu nalwa nabeera mu nyumba ng'alina family member basobola omukunganyiza kakadde omujjanjaba ne batamuwa yadde 10 bwafa ne bagula coffee nya million 3. You guys have seen that, and I saw that in my family it's something that could easily happen. Nabagambye nti during the lockdown a part of my family, a full family, bagendanga ne balima at a rich man's farm, not to get money, to get food. Ne baba walumonde. Guys, that's painful. Every time I say it I feel bad. I wish I knew about this, because mu lockdown wadinange sali bulungi, but had I known, because when you look at that family tebalabika kuba bubi, but I think batuka to a point ntasobola kubira family member mugambo why tetuli bulungi tuweeye ekizike tunaki kusasula nga tuli bulungi, because that's not family. Okitegeera. So but that meeting gye nayita twamalirizanga nze omuntu oyo yangamba toddanga mo kumpita kino buli akolesa nnyo ekintu buli mbuzi ku nkondo yayo nange ate luli erambadde ku nkondo yange. So but and I think this is the first time I'm talking about it, but I realized at that moment that twali mu family abantu bagenda mu maka g'omuntu, they celebrate naye nga they are not really there. Ngabanyivu. You guys have been to family occasions where the family, abantu, the real family, batula bali. Abagenyi, mikwano ja nanyini mokolo batula ku mwanjo yabeera ne high table, the family babeereri bali batula ku bubalaza. Okitegeera, me I don't want that. I'd rather not have parties, celebrations at my home than have celebrations where my actual family is not really family. Ngabajja ne beebwala omuntu avudde uwe yetaddemu transport yerumya najja, and then they don't really feel like they are family at your own function, because why katugende ate banatulaba butya, and that's where families are. Mwalaba say yatuuka n'agamba nti family tuzibeera wala okubeera n'emirembe, kati eyo teba family, those are relatives. Okitegeera. Derek Lule, good morning. Madafuye, good morning. But it isn't the first time watugamba dda. No, I've not shared the full story before. Ladies these days babeera lindako njagala kulaba omwana omuto bakumenya batya omutima. Someone gave me a budget for their wedding. Chokana muwola 1 million and he didn't pay. Ng'omugambo jukira akakadde ke nakuwola tokotansasula ke nkuwadde era mpandiika nti nkuwadde million y'essente. JK, good morning. John Kotieno. Nathan. Naye kati wotuuse family tekyakuvaamu mpozi gwe kugivaamu. Ladies these days babeera tebalina kyebazaako. That's why obasanga bakyagumidde mu bufumbo, most of them. Good morning, Alan Mulinda. Family are people we are related to, whether useful or not. They remain family. However, there are people who are not, who be there for us in all times, and we add them to family for their deeds. Friends like family. Okay? Now that we are defining family, hope we can also define family responsibility. Tusobola n'okudda ku mulamwa. Because it's to our benefit as black culture, regardless. Okay? Valerian, may I think that family, the responsibility of family is actually to love you, to be there for you, but also to be honest. Because if you can't get criticism from your own family, then where are you going to get honest criticism? Because everyone else will be looking at you. May I find that family is that place where you get the love, even tough love. Okitegeera. Mbunyumya nembwa ne yesigama ennyama. Jeke akasajja kalina emboozi kalinga jjajja boolo. Jjajja boolo alina emboozi. Jeke tomanyi jjajja boolo. Jjajja boolo nyina video gye nalabye nga akaaba. Naye we need a podcast nga Matembe Answer is sharing his view of life. Kubanga ati alina emboozi. Nasa nkwetaaga. Nasa oba tukoleyo broadcasting nga you are my guest. Olaba otya Nasa? I can invite you to broadcast. You be on one side, I be on one side. Noli okotulako emboozi ani yakumenya omutima oyo. Bayi myakajo mito nnyo. Nze Nasa at 24 years. Yes, bali bamenya omutima naye life was good. Nga toyinza kungamba nti abakazi babi. Olaba ne kakati tobingamba. Tosobola kubanga abakazi kye kintu abasajja kye tulina ku nsi kuno ate olinako kyekirala. Emmotoka tugenda zivuga naye era omuluko ogivuga kubaako gy'olaga kati. Gwe jeke tolina TikTok wali wadde ononya jjajja boolo. Jjajja boolo alina emboozi. But guys, family. Do I have a wrong definition of family? May I find that family is that nga bwolaba mbeera mu maka abaana abooluganda ne mwekuba then ne mwesonyiwa, ne mwerangira then ne mwesonyiwa, n'omanya nti omanyi kino kibi. I find that abantu generation, there is a generation before generation before the millennials. Jekena olimba millennials, but the generation before the millennials, I find that generation is so pretentious. That generation is so pretentious and it's very bad. That generation, a generation yetugo omuntu okitegeera. Ojja kusasula entrance. Nasa ogamba otya? Tukakole ku lw'omukaaga. Kana hivyo tunyumize emboozi ani yakumenya omutima. Ani yakumenya omutima. But guys, do I have the wrong definition of family? Because I find that I think that family is not just the people you're related to in blood. Family is the people that bonyigira nonyigulukuka. Ngate tonyiga nonyirukuka because oli mwavu. Because I realize that in our Ugandan setting, omwavu tanyiga. Okitegeera. Omwavu tanyiga mu setting yaffe ya Uganda. Omugagga anyiga n'akukyawa. Ne weetuga n'okwetuga ng'omugagga akukyaye. Omwavu, I find that in Africa omwavu tanyiga, omwavu tayomba, omwavu takola ki. Yensonga lwaki banaye tulina okukola ennyo. Naye nze nayambibwa nnyo nze mu buto bannange saagala mmanya. Nze nayambibwa nnyo saagala kunnyamba. Nze saagala kunnyamba. Kyobula sinnakola na kwanjula. Singa nali njagala okunsondera kasente singa namala dde okwanjula. Nyina nabanga tuyite meeting. Omwana w'abantu tugende omunoneyo ne mbagamba nakyala. Family mmanyi. Mulinde mpeze sente zange tugende. Mwe guys, What's your definition? Find Bomazokulida that version of my story. What's your definition of family after relating to that story? Do you guys think that omuntu yenaina kastoba ngo muina ko omusize? Actually, you guys, there's a story generalaba omwala yali omuvubuka ndoza yali Busoga. Graduation bajje makedde, he graduates, then they go home kupate yenyini yali muwala yali mulenzi. Kupate yenyini bamala okulya cake bali emmere encho mwala yali afudde because bamu obutwa. I stick to the dictionary definition of family. What I may think or feel about family doesn't change the English language. Okay, so family is what English defines it to be. Family is what me. I don't think family is what English defines it to be, and I find that that's why even divorce happens. If you're going to divorce someone you have been together with for 20 years, 20 years, I find that you can also divorce someone that you grew up with as long as they are not definition of family. Ochitegeera. Story yomaji ule yomwana yavenda bagenze bakole graduation party. Omwana ne bamuwa obutwa. You think that poison came from where? From the OGs and OBs. After I have the bro, I fall on chitufu. Yanyeza, and I feel like there are no words someone can tell me to forgive him. It's now 6 years. And me, I find that it's totally normal. It's normal. Because we are humans. One is what makes you human. Is what makes you. It's normal. What muntu akole ekintu nulabira danga bomusonyi banawe mugwagwa. For example, there are stories I've been hearing. There is a story I had yali ya TikTok nti omuwala yaweereza maama we ssente bakadama bwaweereza maama we ssente okumuzimbira ennyumba sebo maama we teyazimba nyumba. What the mother did is the mother married a man. Kati omuwala bwe yakoma we Kampala abuza maama we nyumba yange eriwa ko maama enze yakuzaala saakulabirira senga saakuzaala waligenze yeye Dubai okitegeera. And it was a very heated argument. So I'm asking myself, how do you forgive someone that misused your labor? Okoledde Dubai emyaka ena ng'omanyeka bankolera akuweereza n'ebifaananyi by'amayumba agatali gago okitegeera, and then you come back only to realize that enyumba teyagizimba ate mu ssente zo yakola n'okwanjula omusajja najja n'amuwasiza mu nyumba gye yazimba mu ssente zo because yakola renovation y'ennyumba ye n'aleeta omusajja n'amuwasizaamu. So the question there is there is what we can call blood family, and then there is family that you actually appreciate for being family. But when you don't forgive, it's all the same as imprisoning yourself. I don't think so, Emmanuel. I actually don't think you imprison yourself by not forgiving. I find that forgiving makes you vulnerable. Forgiving makes you vulnerable to being hurt even more. Mbuzotia nti you guys have seen, and me, I'm a theater director, so I read a lot of these stories of forgiveness. Let me tell you about the play I'm doing. It's called Richard III. It was written by Shakespeare, and in Richard III there is this evil guy called Richard, who is Richard III, King of England, and Richard kills everyone that stands in his way of kingship. Of course, Richard was not born, he was born with a deformity. So he doesn't look really nice, so nobody really likes him. But on top of that, he has bad manners. So he has two brothers, and he kills the first one, who is not king. He kills the first one because that first one, if King Edward dies, the next person in line would be his brother. So he creates a row between the two brothers, and King Edward kills the first brother. So now Sigaro brother. And then King Edward is of course sickly on the bed, so King Edward soon dies. Now when Edward dies, already Richard had already killed kings from another place. But what the story I want to bring out is that Richard kills Edward, Prince Edward, from another kingdom. And he kills also King Henry. But Edward had a wife. The Prince Edward had a wife. So Richard plots to marry the wife of Edward. But in the plot, he just wants to marry her for the sake of marrying her, and in the end kill her. You get? But then Edward's young widow forgets that this is the man that killed the husband, and she falls in love with Richard. And they have relations, they go on about their life. Eventually, Richard kills Prince Edward's widow. Just the way he kills everyone. He kills the princes, the sons of the late King Edward. He plots to kill literally everyone so that he stays alive alone. But of course, eventually he gets what he deserves. He's also killed at battlefield. But what am I trying to bring out? That the wife of Prince Edward forgives. The wife of Prince Edward forgives and forgets that Richard killed the husband, and then she marries this dude, thinking that by marrying this dude she would not be killed, but eventually she's killed. So me, I find that forgiveness doesn't put you in a prison. Forgiveness puts a fence around you. I mean, no, not forgiveness. Not forgiving puts a fence around you. Because when you don't forgive someone that has done you bad, you don't forget that they did you bad. But when you forgive, you're bound to mistake their smiles for change. Because when you forgive, you're imagining that, oh, this person is going to change. But they don't actually change. They always go back to the same things that they know best how to do. There is no way, me, I have a weakness. There is no way I forgive you and I don't forget. I used to have a childhood friend that I grew up with, and I think when you're young, you don't see the bad side of the people that you really like. And my grandmother kept telling me that boy is not your friend. That boy is not your friend. That boy is not your friend. And he kept doing bad things, but I kept letting things go because I kept forgiving him. And like I've said, every time I forgive you, I forget. Every time I forgive you, I forget. I eventually forget that you did something bad to me. So for me to not forget the things you did to me, I just don't have to forgive you. So eventually this person, at a certain moment, we have a neighbor when Nalim Pangisa, and this neighbor of mine had a son. The son had a laptop, his screen had gotten broken, and I had a laptop that I wasn't using anymore. It had a good screen. So I gave this dude, he used to fix computers, go and change the screens or take him. At that time, I did not know it could be done there and then. So he takes both laptops, and eventually he fixes the laptop but sells the boy's laptop. Najitunda. So my neighbor starts saying, I tell you, when I dreadlocks. So they used to say, so my neighbor started saying on the neighborhood, oh, your guy, your laptop, I keep calling this guy. Come your laptop, your mwana. But eventually they even bring police. And I call him so eventually I drive to his place and I call him. And his phone is there. And he's seeing the phone, he refuses to pick up. Yaringa amazebanga atakwata simu. Nemugagundi bagenda kunsiba kufuna laptop y'omwana. Ninga yali yagitunda. So eventually we trick him tumugamba manyi funa laptop choletted on omwana abivemu. He brings the laptop and then they arrest him and put him inside. Yali yagitunda. So I don't know how he does it. Na tricking omuntu gwe yaguza laptop na agireta ku police. Bagireta ku police ne bagiwayo kati n'oyo omuntu atandika kati nziriza sente zange. You get it? So I had kept forgiving this guy, thinking that maybe he has changed, maybe he wishes me well, or maybe he was in the tough spot. Yalinga akola ebintu bwe bitwe nitugende wantu n'abaako byabbayo because nze mututteyo, I end up paying and stuff like that. So you end up forgiving and forgetting. That's my cycle. I forgive and forget. Because if you don't forget, you have not really forgiven. You get it? Bwembanga, you once tried to give me poison, and then I forgive you, and I still remember that you once gave me poison. I have not really forgiven you. That's my thinking. I've not really forgiven you because then if I still remember that you once gave me poison, I know that you can give me poison again. Because for me to know that you changed, I need to forget what you did. That's why wagamba ebintu by'okwejjusa bwejjusa Katonda yeerabira ebibyo byonna bye wakola and then noba ng'ozaaliddwa bujja. That's what baptism is. They baptize you, you're born again, and then ebibyo byonna bye wakola emabega babyerabira, and then you start on a clean slate. For me, that's why forgiveness doesn't work for me, because every time I forgive, I end up getting hurt again because I don't keep my guards on. I let everything go. That's how I forgive. Anti forgive ne weso nyu wo muntu oyo simply because you forgive. We don't have to be friends or keep talking. Forgive, create a distance, protect your mental state. That's not forgiveness, bro. Emmanuel, that's not forgiveness. No. Do you know what it means to forgive? No, bro. Come on. Let me give you an example. If you have a brother and you have been really tight and he does something to you and then you separate, that's why when you're forgiving, they say you people hug. Because now we are back together. I've forgiven you for everything you have done to me. We are brothers again. So now you're saying you have forgiven me and then you don't talk to me again. That's not forgiveness. We don't really forgive. He came to the village and found me married, used my boxer by then, drove him with his wife to our grandma, our aunties and old friends. We got somewhere and asked me, why did you get married before I tell him? Why did I got married before I tell him? Who brought the Kusonyiwa thing, guys? If God himself didn't forgive Satan, then what? After once I was a kadei, but a friend yatumala mwa akajanja. He went out, he bought himself Minute Maid, and for us you phrase. Now what? What is wrong with that? It was his money. It was his money. That one Toyota IQ. I can't show you, of course, but I want to later on. In the process, he asked her wife that when they get to Kampala, she should get me understanding, an understanding girl I should marry. Banange mboze nukanzile munji somenji jeno. You will not forgive your brother because he came to the village and found you married, used your boxer kugayamba na boxazo, and then drove him with his wife to our grandmother, our aunties and old friends. We got somewhere and asked me why you got married before you told him, eh? And when you, in the process, the high says, Augustine Blue story, I guess you're about to end. But in business, there is no forgiveness. The customer always runs away. Na yesinga nali mbataddemu mafuta ga motoka nali maze ate nnyo muganda wange yankola bisikutegedde kye yakola Augustine ge mazima. That's the importance of boundaries. Does it mean you never forgive him because you still remember? Guys, who told you Satan will not one time be born again? Musonyi wenga muchimanyi tistani talokoka. In the end, you remember my comment. Mwe bantu mwe nze sisonyiwa bonkole ekibi obonkoze ekibi. And I tell this to my friends. As long as I still have you at heart, I will tell you the wrongs you've done. And once I've told you, I will forgive you. And life will go on. And I'll forget. Forgiveness goes with forgetting. That's pretending to forgive. Right? It's like someone saying, everything you say before a bat doesn't mean anything. We say, because once you say I've forgiven you, but now I'm creating boundaries, your relationship has not been mended. The moment you start saying sichayogera na ina musonyiwa na sichayogera na obate wa musonyiwa okitegera obate wa musonyiwa oba just wa mwesonyiwa okwesonyiwa n'okusonyiwa byanjawulo. Forgiving and mu luzungu bakiyita bate jeke gwamanyi oluzungu. Forgiving and letting go are two different things. So some people let go and they think they have forgiven. You have not forgiven. You have let go. You have simply let go. So me, I let go. I don't forgive. Or second, another person I forgive, I make it clear that I've forgiven you, and we go back to normal. And then everything that you did before, nechigena nechivao. Or second, and I think that the time that's where we mistake it. We think okwesonyiwa kwe kusonyiwa. Or second, okwesonyiwa si kusonyiwa. Mulero kalayo kawambuye mudakika 19 ze zakaita kusawa on top of the hour kamba sibule kali. Mwe guys, family. The definition of family tuji conclude izo lwalero. Probably we'll have to have but nabera ne interview ne Abdul Nassa. Aho tujja kumala ye kintu kya tujja kuba tusobola okumala ye kintu kya family ekyo. The definition of family, Jacob Agambi is sticking to the dictionary term, dictionary definition of family. Family are those people, mother, father, jaja, bichi, people that are related with in blood, your family. I believe that family are the people that will love you unconditionally, that people that will not harm you. Omuntu atagenda kwagala kulumya at any one moment. Ate omuntu ajja okukkiriza nti wano nakulumya naye ensonyiwa. Okitegeera, tugende mu maaso. People that have your best interest at heart are your family. That's my definition. Nti omuntu akwagaliza kyova olaba nti abantu battanga omukago edda. Omukago mugumanyi bakwatanga emmwanyi ne bagimenyamu, omu n'ateeka kuno omusaayi n'omulala n'ateekako omusaayi, then they exchange the coffee beans. Batta omukago nti ofuuse muganda wange okuva olwaleero. Okitegeera, ate era omukago ogwo omuntu yafuukanga family. Kifuweko egezeko ettaka. Fuwako. This girl, the cake has fallen. I did once not take up this. I know for walk up vehicle. So anyway, me, I believe that family is a person that has your best interest at heart. We have a family yo. Omuntu nga ayagala obeere happy. Nga bw'oba toli musanyufu naye taba musanyufu for your family. Nti banabala ba relative. Era yensonga lwaki ebiseera ebisinga when people abantu ebiseera ebisinga bagenda bakula bagenda ba relative babeesalako n'asigaza nuclear family yeeyo because abantu abadde nabo mbubi ne mbulungi. And by the way, ebintu ebiseera ebisinga ntera okusanga abasajja abakulu ne baga gwenno tonnalaba nsi. Okitegeera, because yaba agirabye aba ayise mbingi, ayina ebintu maama we byamukoze, ayina ebintu taata we byamukoze, ayina ki. Okitegeera, and chobola abantu ebiseera ebisinga ojja kwesanga literally every man ayinayo omusajja nga amubeereddewo ng'oyo omuntu agamba muganda wange lwakwakati ekigambo muganda wange mugenze mu kyonoona, muganda wange gyebaleko. Me, I don't just call people brother. How are you doing, my brother? Ebiseera ebisinga people call me my brother now. The people that have WhatsApped me, you see, you call me bro, I say man. Because we have not yet gotten to the level where we are bros. For you to be my brother, there needs to be tuino kubanga twebererawo. Nze mbererawo abantu. Nze bwensala okubererawo nkubererawo. Because I find that that's the thing that everyone needs. Buli muntu yetaaga omuntu ayinza omubererawo. And I've seen of course nze banzaala bwomu, so I don't really have brothers. Okay, mama wange yanzaala bwomu. I found that most times abantu babeera close to their brothers and sisters from the same mother. And my dad definitely had other kids, but we are not really close. And I find that why people need friends to be there for them. Nti omuntu ayinza okuba nga alina family naye nga tebakwatagana bulungi. Beebogundi bagambye ono nti abeesonyiwa tabasonyiwa abeesonyiwa. Kati ye muli abalowooza abakoze eki, abasonyi naye abatakoze eki, abatasonyi aba abeesonyiye. Banange family mujiwulira, there is a definition of family. Kati nze ndi rebel, I think I qualify to be a Gen Z, because Gen Z yekola ebintu. Gen Z esinga okuba mba rebellion, abantu abali rebellious. Gen Z aba millennials, millennials are actually humble. Akuba millennials b'ennaku zino mwe muli Bobby, mwe muli King Saha. Millennials b'ennaku zino tebatya biduduma. Earlier millennials like JK, bali a little bit humbler than the later millennials, because 1990 to 2000, those are like how many years? The 9 years. Those are the millennials abagenze nga tebatya nnyo biduduma. But of course nemba bajeke wali abatatya biduduma. Muyombya Mark, Tusime Eddie Mugalasi, Joshua Mixfarm, Martha Academy, Nama Mukono Travel Life Vlog, Hashim Tali Samuel, Muyombya Mark, Mutumba Pade, Edrin Mugerwa, Semata Abdul, Chigozi Stanley, Waboyi Nelson, Antonio Random Things, Nyanga Nwinga Tanali Ogerako, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Baba Travel Life Vlog, Mutumba Pade, Nathan, Keith Moses, Sebonya Emmanuel, Bahobora, Andrew, Jombe Juma, long time. Rahim Chimuli Chigozi, John Kotieno, Lindako Ntongo Helen, Sebunya Emmanuel, Matembe Abdur Nasa, mukuru wa Chika, Football Tribe, Sechitoliko Norman, Mujizi Daudi, JFK Arts, yes, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Hajara, bana imwe bali ku engaginga, Zara Vlog, Balvids, Mugarasi Joshua Mix Farm, Omeja Moses, Chan Emmanuel, yes, Valerian Selunkuma, Muyombia Mark, Augustine Blues, Manango Augustine Blues, Embozio Eganyo Kugata, Toddy Ronald. And by the way, kampisa okana account omusajja we masaka jetali abatoke na eti yaina buzibu. It's a new practice abantu abakola okwanjula lunch bagire sawa 5 botuka ku mukolo sawa mukaga toli ya lunch munange ye practice eri wakati abantu abakola okwanjula abasinga bwe bakola. STS Sounds Entertainment, Derek Lule, Mandwef NF, JK, John Kotieno Nkumaze, baba Sewinya Emmanuel Nakumazi, Edrin Mugerwa, Seith Kagaba, Nino ngenda kusiba ko kaka ndayo lwachi abazungu banyonyoka beba kaleti. Augustine Blues kanzireyo Augustine emboza agizemu kirabika. Augustine agaye nagamba ne mukazi wenti wetudde Kampala nonyeza Bruce omukazi ategeera ebigambo ebyo byannuma naye singa nali mubuuza mu mmotoka yange kati Katonda ye yali tutaasizza singa nali muvuga mu mmotoka yange alinkuba oluyina mala n'alunkubulula yeyeka gwendisonyiwa, if not sijja kusonyiwa ya rabbi. Mukiwulira bannange, when you slap someone ekintu yesterday we were talking with Mama Aban and we were talking about domestic violence and she was talking about the ladies she was talking to at church and abakazi babera in domestic violent homes nti omusajja namukuba namutuga n'omutuga and they were asking themselves when is it proper for you to live a domestic violent home. And the thing is abantu kyebeerabira nti omuntu agenda okutuuka okutuga akuba empi ozimbe aba alina obusungu aba takwagala aba yakukyawa omuntu okuba mukulu munne like you married a woman you married a man naye n'otuuka to the extent nti omukuba because enkuba y'abasajja bali domestic violent domestically akuba n'amuzimbye eriiso kukata kuvaamu omuntu akutuusa ku eyo leva aba takwagala kati gwe bw'oŋŋamba nti namusonyiye oba totegeera okitegeera ky'oyinza okugamba nti namwesonyiye ne muviira okitegeera. Arthur, do you know of two guys who were with Jesus at the cross? Akim kyamugamba forgive me and other was like Jesus you are like me one cross now who forgives us. Who forgives us? I think overall God forgives and God forgives when he decides to forgive. Era naito mugamba sebo Katonda baba tanayagala kusonyiwa ne bwokola kitakusonyiwa kati gwe lwaki gwe omuntu we dictating nti kansonyiwe bwenti. Good morning Arthur, must I contact you for car inspection? Sifanga siguze fielder this year. I must contact you. Amina kankuteremu essala mwe bagayi family are the people that wish you well. Because bwogamba nti family are blood relatives, what of people abafiirwako abantu baabwe bonna kati okitegeeza ne bw'alikola kyataliddamu kufuna family because there are people ng'abantu baabwe bonna baafa oba baabula ng'alimu yekka mu nsi. Kati oyo omuntu tayinza kugamba nti I have family wangi olw'okuba talina blood relatives. Bali abantu they are blood relatives, you're related to them by blood, and then there are these people that who become family because you realize that, you know what, this person is closer to me than anyone else, or he's close to me, he wishes me well, and then you start feeling that the bond comes. The people that you call the 3 a.m. friends, there are people that don't pick your calls. Nga ye ever abera busy. Bwaba muganda nga ever yabera busy. Yes, that person is a relative. Family is supposed nze batobange bankubira essimu. Why bampereza WhatsApp message? I have to answer. There is the thing that I told my cousins. Never gamba. Bobanga oli urgent, that's the time you should call me more than once. But when chiba techiri urgent, nze bonkubira omurundi gumu, I will call you when I get time. Wabula bonkubira more than once, then I know it's really, really, really urgent. And because nze mberako eva mberako ne airtime atagwako, when they call me more than once, I make them busy and I call them back. A call, when someone calls you more than once, they really need to talk to you that very instant. They cannot wait. When someone calls you once, abakubideko olabe nti why nakubiddeko, normally that's like hi mbadde nkubuuzaako wakitegeera. But and those people are family. The reason why people call me, I have cousins abankuya nangamba manyi Arthur siri bulungi mbadde nyala kugula simu. The reason that person calls you is because they know you have their best interest at heart. Lwaki takubidde muntu mulala nakubira gwe okitegeera. And then it's also on them to understand that family doesn't always have money. So that bwakugamba n'omugamba sina sente tagenda kubinyigira muntu waganyi buganyi. Because that's also family. For you to understand that yes, this person is family, you have their best interest also at heart. Sikubira muntu n'omusaba buyambi bwatakuwa bwe n'osuubira nti yali badde alina okwewola gwakuwa ekyoyagala. Because best interest doesn't only go one way, it also goes both ways. So as you want people to be your family, you should also be family to them. They wish you well, so you should wish them well as well. But sometimes I find that fetwagala abantu benga batu wishinga bulungi nga ate we don't do the same. The thing that bamama bakolimira abaana saakukuza saakola kigwali ekyo bwali buvunanyizibwa bwo wali tokikola nti onyamba wali tokikola because bichi. Of course that was your responsibility. Ate bwe tunadda mu nsi gye basibira n'abasajja obutalabirira abaana mujja kukira because kat in the US they can lock you up for not looking after kids. Bakusiba. Of course ne wano basobola okusiba muntu bwagenda mu court, but most people don't actually take it that far. They don't go to court. Bugana okulabirira abaana bo ng'omukazi abireka nga agenda yeetetenkanya nga yeeyiya gwe ng'ojja ku graduation. Ng'ojja ku graduation because your daddy. Ate abasajja abajja later on ku graduation abaana babagala n'okusinga bataata ababaddewo atijja nawe neekulya naye ebifaananyi. I think because abadde talina bondi eya taata. Guys, kamba siibule ngende nkole ku mirimu gy'abakama bange. May the good Lord bless you. I'll see you tomorrow on the Random Cat Talk Thursday. Abduna sanzija mu inbox emboozi yo eyina okubeerwa kubanga waliwo emboozi z'onyumya obadde onyumya emboozi ezo nga ndabira ddala mukulu munnange. Mukama abawe omukisa. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.